this is Wednesday. It's already Wednesday, the second day in the beautiful month of February. Last time we were here, we ended with some questions on sets, and a few persons sent in their homework. The rest of you, I didn't receive anything. Was it too difficult, or you just didn't have enough time? Hello? That's for the persons who didn't do it. Was it too difficult, or you just didn't have enough time to?
Sorry, I forget.
You forgot. Okay.
I was busy doing work facility. I didn't have enough time to do it.
You didn't have enough time? What you saying, Ricardo?
I had a lot of homework to work on, so I couldn't do it.
Oh, okay, you had a lot of homework. Okay. Well, the good news is that we're gonna cover it right now. So let's get right into it. Let me begin by sharing my screen with you all. All right. Let me know if you can see it.
It's visible.
I can see it.
Okay, good. So here it says drawing Venn diagram without universal set. So it says it says draw a Venn diagram based on the data provided and answer the questions that follow. So a survey was conducted among students of the 8th grade. So these are 8th grade students to find out their favorite music genres, right? And so let's do that. I'm gonna put it smaller so we can be able to get everything in. So they said that they saw that 22 students like rock music, 35 students enjoy jazz, 29 students like hip hop. So because there are 3 genres mentioned, we know that what type of set we're gonna be dealing. Yeah, we're gonna be dealing with triple sets, right? Or we're not doing the double one, but the triple, right? They said that 5 students enjoy rock and jazz music, but not hip hop. 3 students like rock and hip hop, but not jazz. 7 students enjoy jazz and hip hop, but not rock music. And 4 students like all 3 genres of music. And so we're going to set up our question like before. We're going to draw out. Yes, ma'am?
We don't need any more BJC ones?
Any more BJC ones?
Yes, sir.
No, we ain't doing no more of them. They're pretty simple. They're pretty straightforward. So, I don't think we need any more practice on those ones. But these ones still are important for you. And I say that because it's just helping you to be able to read the information, and from those information gather what you need to construct a set. All right. Okay. Or to draw the Venn diagrams. All right. So let me allow the process to come in. Okay. So we know it's going to be 3 circles. So 1, 2, and 3. We know that you're going to have some for rock music. What letter are we going to use for that?
R.
R, yeah, capital R. Then we have jazz. What letter we could use for that?
J.
And then we have hip hop. What letter are we going to use for hip hop? H. Good. All right. We always start first by labeling what? Or we always start
intersections.
Our intersections. Yeah. So we need to start off with our intersections. The first one is 4. It says 4 students like all 3 genres, all 3. So where are we gonna put the 4 since it's 4 for all
in the
3?
center.
Just
And
in the
it's gonna
center.
be
The bottom center.
the
In the
center with
bottom
all
center.
3.
Just
Someone
Miss
is asking a
Cookie.
question. Yes, ma'am.
Honest, like, I knew your vessel sex square too or no.
Okay, so universal set. She's asking for universal set. That we could put U for the universal set, or we could put the funny looking E for universal set. Okay, so 4 students like all 3. 4 students like all 3 genres. So we put in that 4 right down in the middle. One moment. Then 7 students. Let me stop this thing from making this noise. Okay, so 4 students, that's all 3 genres, right? Now, 7 students enjoy jazz and hip hop, but not rock music. So this is jazz and hip hop, but not rock music. So where that's gonna be?
On the
On the
right.
right hand side of 4
On the right hand side of 4. Very good, because it say jazz
and
and
hip hop,
hip hop, but
but
not
not rock.
rock. So this is where it's gonna be right there. So it's gonna be 7. All right. The next thing we want. So we already did this one. Sorry, let me make that very clear. So we already did this one and this one. Now we're going on to the 3 students. They said that 3 students like rock and hip hop. So they like rock and hip hop, but not jazz. So where that's gonna go?
On the left
On the
hand
left
side of
side of
4
4.
Side of 4.
Yes, right here in this intersection. For rock and hip hop, but not jazz. Rock and hip hop, but not jazz. So it's gonna be 3. Okay. And then so we done with that one. Sorry, we done with with the third one and that one. Now for the 5, it says 5 students enjoy rock and jazz. So we're gonna
On
put
top
that
of 4.
On the
on
top
top
of
of 4.
4.
Yeah, so that's 5 students for rock and jazz. Give me one moment. Someone is asking to join. Okay, good. And then we have so that's it for the intersections, eh?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now it says 29 students like hip hop. Okay, so 29 students like hip hop. Hip hop is H, right? So we know that
Yes, sir.
all of this is going to be equal to how much? All of this circle.
29.
29.
29.
29.
29.
So if we just want to figure out what is H only, what would that be?
You'll have to
29
subtract
students.
29 from
29.
14.
You add all of them and then subtract it from 29.
Very good. So H only is going to be equal to 29 minus 3 plus 4 plus 7. So that's going to be equal to 29 minus
Minus 14.
14, which is what?
15.
15.
50 or
15.
15? Oh, 1, 5. Very good. So this is going to go where? 15 is going to go where?
Where the circle is labeled H to the bottom.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
Hip
H
hop.
only. Yeah, H only. Okay, so the next thing is R only. Sorry. So for R only, how are we going to figure that out?
You add 5, 4, and 3.
And 3.
Subtract it
5, 4, and
from
3.
22.
22.
Okay,
Yeah.
one moment. Someone is trying to join.
12 from 22.
It'll be 10 only.
Okay, so let's go. Alright, so for R only, remember we're trying to figure what goes inside this one. So notice that it's all of this is R, and R supposed to be equal to how much?
22.
Yeah, 22 students like rock. Okay, so all of this combined is supposed to give us 22. So it's going to be 22 minus 3 plus 4
Plus 5.
plus 5. Reason being is, remember, all of this is supposed to give us 22. So what we do is we add the 5, the 4, and the 3, and then we're going to subtract that sum from 22.
22.
So it's going to be equal to 22 minus what?
12.
12.
Yes, 22 minus 12, which is what?
10.
10. Very good. So for A only, it's going to be 10. Sorry, for R only, it's going to be 10. Any questions for me?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
alright. Alright, so the last one is J only. The last one is J only. Alright, the last one is J only. And J only is, we know that all of this for J is supposed to add up to what? This is Jazz.
35.
35.
35, because they say 35 students enjoy
Enjoy
jazz.
jazz.
Okay, so all of this is supposed to give us 35, because again they say 35 students enjoy jazz. So it's going to be 35. Sorry, let me write that clearly. It's going to be 35 minus 5 plus 4 plus 7. Going to be 35 minus, what is 9 plus 7?
16.
16.
16.
And then 35 minus 16 is what?
19.
19. Very good. Okay, so this is 19. Alright, so there we have it. Our full and complete Venn diagram. So now that we have the Venn, by the way, before we start asking the questions, anyone have any questions based on how we got the numbers? Are we comfortable of how we got the numbers for these things?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Okay, so now it's time to answer the questions. Okay. And there's probably 102 of them questions there.
Mr. Petit,
But
okay, you see like how when they break it down to say how many students like what? You see like how they started off with writing 22 as in like word, and then the rest was numeric. They did that to try and throw you off it.
yeah, I noticed that. I was like, why did they do that? But yeah, they do that to try to increase the difficulty level, right? But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay, that's it.
yeah. Or it probably was an honest mistake. But
You did? I don't think they did a mistake like that.
oh, she said I didn't do the universal. Okay, she's right. So let's do the universal. What's going to be in the universal set? So
63.
63.
So let's add it. So 10. Okay, let's add it. I should have a calculator somewhere, Let's see if this will work. All right. Good. Okay, so let's add it. It's going to be 63 plus. No, not 63 plus.
10.
I know,
3
I
plus
go on and, yeah, I go on it, y'all. All right, so it's going to be 10 plus 5 plus 19 plus 3 plus 4 plus 7 plus 15 equals 63. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So the universal set would contain 63 students, right?
You added everything, right?
Yeah, I added everything. All right, so let's clear things up. And then we're gonna answer these questions. I should make this smaller before I do all of that. Let's make it smaller first. Okay. All right, so let's answer these questions. Let's do the first three. So the first three is the following. So it says here, how many students appreciate hip hop and rock styles of music? Hip hop and rock.
15. Oh, my bad.
7.
25.
So they say
7.
hip hop and rock. Hip hop and rock. So that's
25. 25.
25.
7.
Okay, remember, it's
25.
hip hop and rock, right? So that's gonna be 3 and 4.
28.
No,
3 and
3 and
4.
4.
7.
7.
3 and 4. This is what they're asking us for. Because remember, this is the portion they're asking us for. Remember, they want what? Hip hop and rock.
Oh, sorry.
So that's 34.
No, that's
7.
3 plus 4.
3. Oh,
They
7.
had both of them.
7. Okay.
Because Mr. Petit, because usually they would say students who like both. So I think they like eliminate using that word to see if you would like really think
Yeah,
to say they were the numbers at the intersection.
Yeah. They use the word appreciate. Yeah. They try to change it up a bit.
Right.
Okay, find the number of students in all that was surveyed.
63.
63.
63. How do we know that?
When you add up all of the
You
numbers.
add up all the numbers.
We know that, yes, because let me use a different color highlighter. We know that because That's the universal. That's the number of students in the universal set. So it's going to be 63. Okay. C says, how many students enjoy rock and jazz? Okay.
5
They
students.
enjoy rock and jazz. Rock and jazz?
5.
That's not true.
12.
9.
That,
Is it
9.
8.
It's 9.
9?
Because they just
Yes,
won the
9.
intersection. Sorry, my bad.
5
Let
plus
me
4.
Yeah,
5
5
plus
was
4.
4.
Yeah, they just won the intersection of. Notice they didn't say rock and jazz only.
Yeah.
They just say rock and jazz. So they want the intersection right there. So it's gonna be 5 plus 4, which is 9. Okay. Any questions on this before we move on?
You can explain C again.
Okay, so C, they say how many students enjoy rock, and jazz. So rock and jazz would be in the middle there.
That's like a repeat of question A, right?
Mm-hmm. Rock and jazz. You get that, Miss Cooper?
Yeah. No.
You still sound doubtful. Look at it. Rock and jazz. Where's the intersection?
In the middle.
Middle.
In the middle, yeah.
So
That's
why would
this.
we do 7 and 3?
No, 7 and 3 is 7 and 3. 3 has nothing to do with jazz. 3 just talking about rock and hip hop. Look at it.
Okay, I think I get it.
3 has nothing to do with jazz. The same thing with 7. 7 has nothing to do with with um with with rock. 7 has nothing to do with rock.
I get it. Hello?
I'm here. Okay, so alright, so it's 5 plus 4, which is 9. Okay, so next up is D. So D says, let's do. Nancy, are you here?
Yes, sir. You know.
You're rather quiet tonight.
No, I answered just that. It's a lot of people, so.
Okay, okay. Alright. Okay, so Mr. Bethel, I ain't hear from you all night.
Good night, good night.
What happened? I noticed you.
Sometimes
You
I
cried?
get tired of hearing myself.
That's a surprise. Oh my. Just I used to hearing you talk, that's all. Um,
Yeah, I just give sometimes you get give people time, chance to ask questions too.
you heard it, Miss Cooper? Just saying. Miss Cooper, Oh, okay. All right. All right. So D. How many students listen to at least 2 out of 3 of the genres of music?
That'd be 19.
19.
Okay, so at least 2. Okay, so at least 2 means that you do not count R only, which is 10. You do not count J only, which is 19, and you do not count H only. All right. You want at least 2. So 3 means for rock, people who enjoyed rock and hip hop, right? And this 3, um, this 3 tells us that they enjoy both. All right, both rock and hip hop. So that's at least 2. All right. The same thing for number 7. This number 7 tells us the number of students who enjoy jazz and hip hop, but not rock. So they enjoy 2, at least 2, jazz and hip hop. Okay. Number 5 tells us those who enjoy rock and hip and jazz. So that's at least 2. And then number 4 tells us how much who love all 3. Okay. So the correct answer here is we're actually looking for the ones that are in the intersection. So 3, 4, 5, and 7. Okay. So the answer here is 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 7 equals what?
19.
19.
19. Let me add it. So we have,
Oh, you don't trust us?
I don't trust you. I mean, I just want to show it. 5, this is simple addition though, plus 3. And I figure we have a calculator, I might as well just use it.
Then you want to
5
use a high-tech calculator like that?
5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 7. Good. 19. Alright. But this calculator is not allowed in the exam though. You can't bring this type of calculator in the exam. But
Why not?
because this could graph, look. You could graph stuff on this thing, you know. So if I were to graph 2x, okay, 2x plus 4, and graph it. See how it graphs out the line? You don't want that.
Oh boy, bring that.
Okay, can't bring that in the exam. I mean,
How they could
I don't,
know?
I don't know if
Really?
I don't know if the examiner is that acute to know, but
Yeah.
I the
This big calculator on this PowerPoint.
all right. Okay, so yeah, this calculator is not allowed. It's a graphing calculator. So it's you use the regular Oxford or Casio, something like that. Anyway, let's go back to our screen. So the answer is 19, right? Those are the calculators that we used when I was in school. When I did in undergrad, we used them. At least we were allowed to use them.
Well,
How
you're
much was for
lucky.
one?
Pardon?
How much was for one?
100 and something.
Whoa!
But it depends on where you get it from, though. It depends on where you get it from. Okay. Find the number of students who enjoy hip hop and jazz. So hip hop and jazz.
Let's see, 11.
Hip hop and jazz.
11.
So hip hop and jazz. That's 7 and 4, right?
11.
Yeah, 11.
7 and 4. So it's gonna be 7 plus 4. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
But I can put how y'all getting these answers.
Okay, so notice it say the number of students who enjoy hip hop, right? Hip hop is H, right? And then jazz is J. Okay? So we trying to figure out where they intersect. They intersect right there.
Okay.
Okay. So hip hop and jazz. It's gonna be 11. All right. This is gonna be, what number are you on now? F and J? F and G?
F and G, yeah.
Okay.
Quick question. A calculator could find the true and false side of a slope too?
Yeah, I can. Not, you mean, oh, you mean inequality?
So I can best calculator though.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it can.
But are the teachers that sharp to know if we bring it?
That's the thing. I don't know if the. It depends on. I wouldn't chance it because it depends on. It really depends on who the examiner is, or who the invigilator is. I should say. Um, it depends on who the
Yeah, that's true.
invigilator is.
Because they might not even be a math teacher.
Yeah, if they're not a maths teacher, they might not. They might just think that's a regular calculator. But no ideas, people. Please, no ideas.
So don't risk it all then.
No, of course not. Bring a regular Casio.
Now I was gonna ask you where you could buy that, you know.
Bring a regular Casio. You think I taught you all those things for nothing? Just to use a calculator? Come on. Alright. But I'm sure it happened before though. I'm sure people got away with it. Alright.
You know what I really need to bring in that exam?
What you need to bring?
The Facebook glasses we could connect to the internet.
Oh, you mean Google? What do you call it? Google? Yeah, I remember Google. Google glasses. Alright. How many students listen to either rock or hip hop music? Alright, so they listen to rock,
25.
or hip hop. So that's R or H. So remember what R is? Or is what or is?
Union?
Union. Okay, so you want the union between the union of R and H. So that's gonna be
10 plus
all of
15.
this.
I got 44. I don't know if that's right. That's my.
Okay, so all of this. Okay, so we got added. Don't worry, no need to fear. We have our powerful calculator here. Alright, so 10 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 7 plus 15 is 44. As you said, Ms. Reckley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. 44 is the answer. Okay, give me one moment. Someone's not waiting to be let in. Okay, this is the number of students who prefer hip hop only, or only hip hop. Only hip hop would be what?
15.
15. Only hip hop is 15. Only hip hop is 15. Alright, so next up, we are going to do, so we have F and G, and now we're gonna do, now we're gonna do the last one, List down number of students who are diehard fans of rock music. It's interesting how they phrase this question. So we're trying to find the students who enjoy rock music, right? Number of students who enjoy rock music.
So teacher, when that statement makes it only?
No. No.
22.
I
No.
got 22.
They didn't say only, Miss Nancy. They didn't say only. I wouldn't go with only. I would just list the ones who like rock music. All right.
But because they say die
Die Hard, yeah.
yes, I was thinking was like people
I
who
was
just the rock, like I
thinking
ain't
the
going
same
into
thing.
nothing else.
Die Hard. Let's see what Die Hard means by definition.
That's what
Die
I
Hard to
think.
me doesn't mean exclusive though. I don't think Die Hard means like something that's only for a thing. Okay, person who strongly. Yeah, it's just a strong thing. Like it's not like the only thing you do. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's more like you sold out, but that ain't the only thing you do. Like I mean, you
As
could
a
be a
diehard fan of rock music, I do not only listen to rock.
Okay, all right. For example, you could be a diehard Laker fan, right? Um, but that doesn't mean that you're not a Patriots fan. If you understand what I mean? Um, it's just I don't see you because you're a diehard Laker fan. Um, I don't see I don't see that being a problem with you being another like a diehard fan of another team. Um, diehard doesn't mean exclusive; it just means strong. Um, but we'll see how the solutions manual say. But I don't get that idea impression. If they wanted to say that, they should have say only. But we'll see.
Okay, I understand. That's no problem.
We'll see. Um, so let's down the number of students who are diehard fans of rock music. That would be 10 plus 5. So 10 plus 5 plus 3
Plus 4.
plus 4.
22.
24.
So 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. 18
Plus
plus
4.
4 is 22.
22.
Okay, so that's the solutions that we got. Let's compare them to the solutions manual and see what we get. See how well we did. Alright, so did our stuff look like this? 10, 5, 19, yeah. We good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so
Well,
it was right. 10.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you was right. So I guess they're saying
I
they're
figured
using
as much.
Only. Yes.
Mr. Isaac,
yes sir,
can you scroll up the A side to take a picture of it, please?
no problem. Yeah, so they use the word diehard there to
Throw you
refer to
off.
yeah,
I feel like that's from the start.
yeah,
Yeah.
diehard. Alright, that's the notion. Wow. Okay, so right here is what you were saying, Lionel. Diehard. So the answer for the last one is not 22, it's 10. Because they're using the word die hard here to suggest only. Okay. All right. So there's only 10 for rock.
For this Venn diagrams, you have to like learn synonyms.
I mean, that's for these ones,
Words.
man. That's yeah. I mean, that's for these ones, though. I mean, I don't see the BJCSE being this careless. You know what I mean? It's a badly worded problem. It's a badly worded question. I don't see the BGCSE or the BJC being this loose with their words. But still, still practice more problems and, get context. Because you never know what they will bring. But I just don't see them being, because it could be, it has room for various interpretations. So, but yeah. All right, so we're done with this one. We're gonna do one more of these word problems, and then we go into probability. Okay. So one more of these. If we have enough time, we could do probability. Because this one,
What kind of probability?
We can start off with the simple, from the basic, and then we can move on to probability trees. Okay, so write this down, this question for me. Oh, by the way, send in the solutions for this one, please. The one that we just did, the A through H. Send in those solutions for me, please. Anyone got 100 from? Anyone got all right from what we just did, based on the homework that
I
they
got
did?
100 minus a few wrong.
That's funny. That's funny.
I only got the last one wrong because I was confused with that Die Hard and
Yeah,
Wayne stuff.
yeah.
But I only got one wrong.
Okay. Yeah, the last one don't really count. The last one really count.
I got 3 wrong in total.
3? How you get 3 wrong?
Because no, the one C, I had 5 because I didn't add the 4 and the 5 together. That threw me off.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
All right. So take down this question for me, please.
But don't worry, I'll try to breeze this one.
All right, let's see how we can do this. I want
Okay.
all eyes and ears on this one, because this one is going to this one is more like what you're gonna see on the exam, something like this. You know what I mean? So it says a survey of 300 college students found that 100 had read War and Peace. Anyone read War and Peace before? Quick survey inside this class.
No, sir.
No one? Anyone read War and Peace? Why y'all go on past your BGCSE and BJC and you read War and Peace? You have to be reading.
Is it necessary to read War and Peace?
And that's like
I
literature.
mean, it's just one of those things. I say that jokingly, but you have to be reading books, all right? But I haven't even read War and Peace myself. But what I'm trying to say is that you still have to be well read, though. Even if you haven't read War and Peace, still try to read more. Especially those vocabulary exercises that we do all the time. Those are really good. Those are really good. I like them because they really help you with vocabulary and stuff. And reading other books too, non-fiction. They help with improving your vocabulary too. But anyway, 100 had read War and Peace.
Fiction too.
Fiction does too. Fiction does too. Fiction does too. I just have my own reservations for fiction books, but fiction could do the same. 120 had read Crime and Punishment. And 100 had read the brothers of Karamazov. So we have to be very careful with how we write this because it's interesting. What I mean is that every line is important, and you don't want to miss and write the same line twice. Okay, so be careful how you write this. So it also found, so it's the same survey. Okay, it also found, someone is trying to get in. Oh, this is a good time to do the register. Let me do it now. Adrian. Sorry, let me do it again. Oh my. Okay, let's do it again. Oh my. Okay, I guess it's not the good time to do it. Let's do it later. It also found that 40 students, 40 had read only War and Peace. Seventy had read War and Peace, but not the brothers. Karamazov. And 80 had read the brothers Karamazov, but not Crime and Punishment. Only 10 had read all 3 novels. How many had read none of these 3 novels? So I'm going to give you opportunity, about 2 minutes. Try it out on your own. Let me know what you got. Let me know if you're struggling with anything. What's the issue? What's different? What's the same? What you don't understand, and how you plan on working it out. So try it out on your own. All right, take opportunity to do it. A survey of 300 college students
Are you
found.
asking us to make the Venn diagram? Or
Draw the Venn diagram too. Draw a Venn diagram of it too. If you could do it without the Venn diagram, you could do that too. But ideally, draw the Venn diagram. But I doubt you'll be able to solve that without the Venn diagram. So a survey of 300 college students found that 100 had read War and Peace, 120 read Crime and Punishment, and 100 had read the brothers Karamazov. It also found that 40 had read only War and Peace, and 70 had read War and Peace, but not the brothers. And 80 had read The Brothers Karamazov, but not Crime and Punishment. Only 10 had read all three novels. How many had read none of these three novels? So go forth, conquer, try it out. Let me know what you get.
How much minutes you giving us to do this, Mr. B?
Two. Try it out in 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, we could
Mr. Petit, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, you see where the Parasites also found that 40 had read only War and Peace? Then you have 70 had read War and Peace again. Is it supposed to be like that?
70 had read War and Peace, but not The Brothers of Karamazov.
But then the sentence before that, you have One Piece, 40 read only. Is that how it's supposed to be?
That's how it's supposed to be read, yeah.
Okay.
Kennedy, you're quiet. Miss Cooper, you're quiet. Nixon, you're quiet. Alicia, you're quiet. Floyd, you're quiet.
Focus.
Alright, let me know when you're ready for me to help you over it. How much more time I should give you?
2 more minutes, please. Thanks.
Whole 2 more?
Yeah.
What's ridiculous question?
That's only 120 seconds.
That's what you could tell the examiner? Huh? That's only 20 seconds. Bear in mind, this is only one question in an entire paper, you know. This is one question in an entire paper. This ain't the entire paper. So if you can spend half an hour on this question, come on. It's supposed to flow. It's supposed to flow, people.
Okay, I can see it.
You can see it? What's your answer? Oh, you said you can see it.
Yes, I can see it.
Oh. How you can give up like that?
I gotta give up and move on to the next question. Am I wasting that?
Oh boy.
No.
Nancy, you can see it too?
No.
I know Nancy. I know Nancy will never concede.
I have half of it. I just trying to find one more. It is very confusing.
All right. All right, let's go. Let's get it over with before we spend the entire night on this. All right. Ready or not?
Okay, I
Here we
have
go.
a couple. Can I just tell you my couple?
Okay, tell me a couple.
I might be wrong. I think I have a strong wrong here, but okay. Nonetheless, the very center, I have 10.
Okay.
I have that too, because I show up with that one.
Outside of that, I have 70. On top of that, I got 50, 20, and then on the other side, I got 80. In the intersection, I got 6. There's so much numbers. Why did I just pick?
Boy. Well, I can tell you this one thing. At least the middle one, right?
Mr. Petit, you should have given us this for homework, so we'll have more time to process this.
This one?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
I couldn't do that because y'all would be depressed. Y'all wouldn't even come to class.
No depression here. No depression here. Give us more time.
Y'all would have been depressed at this. Y'all would have said, Mr. Petit.
No.
All right. So let's consider
Okay.
it. So with this one, we consider our box. Here is the universal set given.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. What is it? 300. Okay. 300, call it students. So universal set is given, or at least the amount of students in the universal set is given. So we know that we could say U or E. This funny looking E. Oh, sorry, that's supposed to be in highlight. It's supposed to be in regular pen, sorry. E is how much?
300.
300. Good. Okay, so, alright. So with that being said, let's construct our 3 circles. And we know it's 3 circles because we're dealing with 3 books, okay? Let me do this better than this. So this one, and we know that intersecting because, well, they say that 10 read all 3. Okay, so we have intersections right now. Okay, so we want to fill out each section of this. Let's label these. Let's call this one W for what? For war and peace. Let's call the other one C for crime and punishment. And let's call the last one K for caramazole. What I want to do here, we didn't do this last time when we was doing them, but just to keep track of what's happening, I'm gonna put a letter in each of those spaces to indicate what we're talking about. So we're gonna use the variable T to represent what's happening in W only. We're gonna use the variable Y to represent what's happening in the intersection between W and C. So would that be equal to? We're gonna use X for the intersection. We're going to use W, small w, for that intersection. We're going to use Z for this one. We're going to use the U for that one. And we're going to use V for this one. Okay? So each one of them we have defined. So what is X based on the question? X is what? Can y'all hear me? Am I audible? Or did the internet shut off? Yes, the internet did shut off. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, where did I left off? Okay, I think it still freeze. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. think I misimpressed something. All right. All right, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Where did I left off? You all saw this when I named them?
No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so I was saying that we're gonna use a letter to represent each part. So T is gonna represent W only. Y is gonna represent the intersection between W and C. U is gonna represent C only. X represents the intersection between all of them. W is going to represent the intersection between W and K. Z is going to be the intersection between C and K. And V is going to be K only. Alright? You understand that? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wait, let me
Mr.
take the
Petit,
register.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You think the ones who read War and Peace only was 30?
We're gonna discuss it. We're gonna dive into it piece by
It's like
piece.
trying to get little answers.
Alright. Okay, so well, what is X? We know what X is immediately, right? What is X?
10.
10.
10. Reason why X is 10 is because they tell us 10 had read all 3
3
novels.
novels.
So X is 10 already. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I tell you, as much as possible, start with your intersections, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the next piece of information that we have readily given to us is that it also found that 40
had
had
read
read
only War and
only
Peace.
War and Peace. So where did that 40 is gonna go?
On the side of 10 to the right.
No.
To the
We
left.
want
The
War
T.
and Peace.
Right,
War and
T?
Peace only. T,
That's
yeah.
going in Y and going to Y
Can't
direction.
be Y. They say War and Peace only. War and Peace. 40 had read on War and Peace only.
10.
Oh, One Piece. That'll be
War and
One Piece
Peace.
only. That'll be C.
Yeah.
That'll be what? Which letter?
U.
T.
No.
T.
War and Peace.
T.
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 Sorry.
Which is what? 40.
You
40.
No, because of
You're
the
making
letters.
up
They're
letters now.
confusing. Yeah, like they're confusing.
Alright, so that is the only information that we have given to us directly.
Right.
No other piece of information is given to us directly.
That's
Alright?
how far I make it.
Alright, so from this point onwards, we have to use context clues and basically define it out. Right, so none of the remaining pieces is given directly. But we can start with they said that 70. They said that
T.
70 had read War and Peace, but not the brothers. So this is a good place to start. So 70 had read War and Peace, but not the brothers. So let's think about it. War and Peace, but not the brothers of Karamazov. So War and Peace. So War and Peace is here. This is War and Peace. The whole thing is War and Peace though. But they didn't read the brothers. So we need to
The
move
top
this. So that means that think about it.
So why?
The part that they're telling us is T and Y. This is be the people who read War and Peace, but not the brothers.
So that'll be
Think
30.
about it. Think about it.
Y is equal to 30?
Yes, Y is equal to 30. Because T plus Y equals to 70.
70.
And we already know that T is 40 plus Y equals 70. So Y is going to be equal to 70 minus 40. So Y is going to be equal to 30. Because they said that these two together should give us 70.
Right.
Okay. Any questions on that? These two together should give us 70. So you already have 40. So this is supposed to be 30. And the reason that we know that is because they said here clearly that 70 had read War and Peace, but not the brothers. These people read War and Peace up here, but they did not read the brothers of Karamazov. Okay. Okay, so that means that Y is 30. Let me erase. Can I erase this? Yeah. Y is 30. Okay, good. We're almost done. Let me move this. Okay, so Y is 30. Now, let's try to figure what W is. We know that altogether, how much in War and Peace? How much read War and Peace altogether?
100.
100. So if we're trying to figure what W is, what must we do?
We need to add them all together.
Good. So W is going to be equals to 100 minus
20.
what? 40 plus
40
30
plus 30 plus 10.
plus 10. So 100 W is going to be equal to 100 minus 40 plus 30 is 70 plus 10 is
Plus 10 is 80.
80. Yeah. So 100 minus 80 is
20.
20.
So W is 20.
So W is 20. Yeah. Good. All right. The next thing that we want to do.
Right, 20 there. I know how.
All right, that's
It
good.
all coming together bit by bit.
Yeah, it'll all coming together bit by bit. All right. Okay, what else do we know? Let's look at 80. They said that 80 had read the Brothers of Karamazov, but not Crime and Punishment. Okay, so 80 had read the Brothers, but not Crime and Punishment. So which part of the diagram is that, or which letters is that? War and Peace. They said the Brothers of Karamazov and Crime and Punishment. No, sorry, they had read the Brothers, but not Crime and Punishment. So the Brothers, they read the Brothers, but they didn't read Crime and Punishment. So where would that be? They read the Brothers, but they didn't read Crime and Punishment.
V. That's the letter V.
Z?
No.
The letter V.
Not only
the letter
V.
V.
Not only V.
V and W. V and W.
V and W. V and W. Because they said they read the Brothers. Sorry, why is this in black? Sorry. They read the Brothers.
But not Crime and Punishment.
Sorry. My apologies. Highlighter. They read the Brothers. Right? So you have to try to find which group represent the Brothers, but they cannot include Crime and Punishment. So if we go here, these people read the Brothers, right? They also read the Brothers, and they did not read Crime and Punishment. So basically, you don't want any part where C is Crime and Punishment. Okay. So W, these ones read the Brothers of Karamazov. These ones also read the Brothers of Karamazov, and they did not read Crime and Punishment. Okay. So W and V supposed to add up to what?
80.
80. They said it right there. 80 had read it. Okay. So what must V be?
60.
60, yeah. 60. So V is 60. All right, we're almost done. Any questions before I move on to the last two? What the last?
Why you have to equal the 80? That's my question.
Okay, because here they said here 80 had read the brothers but not crime and punishment. You see that? 80 had read the brothers but not crime. You see that? And so this right here, this is they read the brothers but they didn't read crime and punishment. And this right here, they read the brothers but not crime and punishment. So these two together are supposed to be 80. All right, we already know that this is 20. So this must be 60.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay, good. Any other questions?
You could repeat how you get 60 again.
How I got
60 again.
60. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Remember, they said that 80 had read the brothers of Karamazov, right? But not crime and punishment. So you have to look on your diagram and see which people read the brothers. They would read the brothers, V would read the brothers, but not crime and punishment because V is the brothers only. So these people didn't read crime and punishment, and that's what we want. And they read the brothers. That's what we want. W also read crime and punishment. So I read the brothers, but they did not read crime and punishment. So that's good. So we want W and V to be equal to 80 because they said here they read the brothers, but not crime and punishment. If you look at W and V, these are going to be the people who read the brothers, but not crime and punishment. So we already know that W is 20. So if all two of them is going to be equal to 80, and we already know that W is 20, so 80 minus 20 is going to give us 60. Does that make sense, Juan? Or I need to explain it again?
Yeah, I get it. I kind of get it.
Okay.
Explain it again.
No problem.
Miss Vicky, I think it's just the wording for me because like it makes sense. Like every time I read it, reread it, just get more confused.
You just have to know what it's saying. Okay, this part. Sorry, my apologies. This part. This circle. What does this circle represent?
C.
Yeah, C. The people who read what? Crime and punishment. Yeah, we do not want nothing from here. Because they said, but not crime and punishment. So we do not want anything from here. Nothing. So block this out of your mind. This does not exist. Now, what else do we have? We only have these three. 40, 20, and V. You only have these three, right? So, out of those three, which one read the brothers? Okay. Now, clearly, 40 didn't read the brothers because 40, these ones only read one piece. So the only thing you have left is W and V. These ones, W did read the brothers because it's a part of K, the brothers of Karamazov. And V did read the brothers because it's a part of K. So W and V must add up to 80. Okay. We already know that W is 20. Excuse me. We already know that W is 20. Excuse me. So that means that in order for us to get 80, we must say 80 minus 20, which will give us what?
60.
60. Yeah, 60. So the correct answer is V is 60. Any other questions before we move on to the other ones? You good?
I think I have the remaining pieces, but I want to see how you will get it.
Okay, so next up is is next up is, let's continue on. So we need U and we need C. Well, one thing we know about Z is that or the brothers. How much people read the brothers altogether? 100, right? Isn't it? Isn't it? Are y'all there? Oh, I lost internet again. I think I lost connection again. Hello? What's happening now? Wow, it's crazy. This internet connection is bad. Oh, wow. Saying good internet, but okay, so all right. Let's reconnect. Okay, so let's do this. All right, my apologies. Can you all hear me now?
Yeah, so.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so how much in total read the brothers of Karamazov? How much in total read the brothers?
100.
100.
100.
So 100 read the brothers. So based on that, someone tell me what Z is supposed to be. If you know that 100
10.
read the brothers.
10.
How you got that?
Because if 60 only read the brothers, and then
So can you hear me? I can't hear you no more. No connection. Oh my. And okay, so
'70 or '60.
okay, sorry about that. BTC is arcing up again. Okay, so all right, so let's do this. So let's go back here. So we know that you was about to explain why it's
60.
10. Why it's 10. She's trying to explain why Z
10.
is 10.
Yeah, so.
Go ahead.
Okay, if we know they said that 100 had read the brothers, and we have already gotten W, which is equal to 20, X, which is equal to 10, and then the ones who read only the brothers is 60. We subtract 100 minus 60 plus 20 plus 10, and then says Z is equal to 100 minus 90 will give you 10.
Okay, very good. So the idea is that all of this, sorry. Remember they told us that the brothers, 100 had read the brothers of Karamazov. So that means that this circle right here, which represents the Brothers of Karamazov, all of this is 100, this whole thing, okay? And so that means that all of this should be equal to 100, the whole thing, okay? And so because of that, because that all of this should be equal to 100, and we know that this missing one is, we don't know this value, we're gonna add 10 plus 20 plus 60, then subtract it from 100, because the whole thing's supposed to add up to 100. So what is 60 plus 20?
80.
80. 80. Plus 10 is going to be what?
90.
90.
90. So Z equals 100 minus 90. So Z equals
10.
10.
10.
10. Good. Now we're almost done. U. We know that crime and punishment. How much we had crime and punishment?
120.
120.
Yeah, 120. So if 120 were at crime and punishment, that means we need to add 30 and 10 and 10, and then subtract it all from what?
120.
120 to get what U is. Because remember, all of this is supposed to be equal to 120. All right, so let's do that. What y'all answer is when y'all did that?
70.
70. Okay. So U is going to be equal to 120 minus 30 plus 10 is 40. 40 plus 10 is 50.
50.
So U is going to be equal to 120 minus 50. Now what is 120 minus 50?
70.
70. Very good. 70. Okay. So, are we done?
No.
No. What are we missing?
The persons who did not read any of the novels.
Yes, and we're going to call that R. Okay? So, and that's what the question is asking us for, right? So you see why you needed to finish the diagram before you could answer this question?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I got 60.
I got
So,
62.
60.
60, okay.
60.
He said, the question is, how many did read none of these three novels? So, so here, it's going to be R. R is the one on the outside. So in order to get an answer, we're going to add all these up and then subtract it from what?
300.
300. Our universal.
300.
I guess that. Okay, now it's time to pull out our nice calculator here. So 300.
That look good.
Lying on the skills. People who do want BJC, sorry, you can't. I wonder why this thing. Okay, you can't use calculator. You gotta do it by hand.
Interesting.
I know y'all don't follow that principle. All right, so let's do it. It's gonna be 300 minus open bracket 40 plus 30 plus 10 plus 20 plus 70 plus 10 plus 60. All right, and that's going to be equal to 60. All right, so the correct answer is 60. So R is 60.
60.
All right, and that's how we do it. That's the end of the question. So the number of students who read none of these novels is 60 students. Okay, did you find that harder or easier than the previous ones that we've been doing?
Just longer.
All of Mr. Five.
Longer.
I think this one they just had to like think, like
Yeah.
little critical thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I only need to see it once.
You only need to see it once. I like Mr. Forbes. Mr. Forbes, I only need to see it once. I love it.
It's
All right.
Bethel.
Sorry, Bethel. Floyd Bethel, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, Bethel. Sorry about that. So yeah, he's right. Just give me one good example, and we good. So this is the type that you would stuff like these. The reason why I wanted it like this is because the difference in this one is that it's not as easy as the ones we did before. Because the ones that we did before, they just tell you it straight up. They say, okay, this one for this one for that one for that, 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 right? So it's pretty easy. You know, all you just put it in and everything is good. This one, they had everything, you know, put together in like a sentence, and you had to tease it out one by one. You know what I mean? To be able to formulate the Venn diagram. So, should I give you all one for homework? Shall I?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes,
All
please.
right.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Uh, let's see. Let's give a good one for homework. Mm-hmm. I want something good, something that's not, also something that's not too hard, but manageable. Let's see. $56. All right, let's do number 50. No. Do number 55. 55 should be nice. 55. Only do 55A. You don't have to do the percentage. Unless you want to do it. But
Didn't you say
55.
we was moving on to percentage?
No, he's moving on to probability.
And there's whole lines with percentages.
Yeah, but yeah, in fact, probability is a percentage. Alright, so we good?
Wait, we don't possibility now?
Yeah, probability.
Nice.
Nice, eh?
No,
Okay,
I
so
want to because I feel in the first term, which brought me to a bad grade mark.
wow, probability. Okay, no problem. That's good. Probability is very, very, very easy. Very, very easy. Very easy. I promise you it's easy. Let me show you what I mean. So let's go to, I want to go to a past paper,
Yeah,
right?
you're good with fractions. It's easy.
I know it's pretty easy. I mean, you don't even have to be a genius. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Not sent. I want to go on received from. Okay, good. So let's look at this paper 2, right? So this is this paper 2 BJC exam, and let's look at this question, question number 5. Okay, so this is a good way to start off probability to do. Very simple to the point stuff. And I know about this, and so let's do it. If it's one topic that usually comes, it's probability. That's one of those top questions that they like to put. So write this question now for me. It says a box contains a dozen cookies. Oh, by the way, the previous one with the Brothers of Karamazov, please send that to me as well. I want to see it. Send on those notes for me, please. Adrian, I haven't received anything from you. And those who I have not received anything from as yet for tonight, like Destiny, I haven't received anything from Destiny till tonight. Denari Rule, I haven't received anything from Denari Rule. Katara Bryce, I haven't received anything from you for today. Jaden Boleg, I haven't received anything from you. Haley Williams, I haven't received anything from you. And Mikkel, I haven't received anything from you for the night. Thank you, Lionel. Of course, I haven't received anything from Wayne, Timonique, Treasure.
Quick
Yes,
question.
ma'am. Go ahead.
Could you go back to the thing you wanted to do for homework, please?
Okay, no problem. One moment, let me just finish call these names so people.
Okay.
Michaela Maki, I haven't received anything from you. Alvano Johnson, I haven't received anything. The Mitchells, Dante Mitchell, I haven't received anything. Daniqua Richards, I haven't received anything from you for the night. Rakia Neely, I haven't received anything from you. Eloise, I haven't received anything from you. And Adrian Suzuki, I haven't received anything from you either. Please let me see something from you all, the notes that you are writing down. And I also want to hear from you all. I normally hear from the regular crew, but I want to hear from you all who are not speaking. Alright? I don't want to have to call your parents, okay? So make sure send in the notes for me, please. Okay, so number 55. Please do that for homework. Alright, so let's do this probability question.
Just 55A, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, just 55A.
Okay.
Yeah, 55A. Alright, so let's do this probability question. Alright, the first one is pretty easy. It says, and write this question for me, please. It's been a while since we actually do papers. Remember when we just used to do past papers?
Yeah.
That's the good old days.
Good old days.
The good old days.
Yeah.
The good old days. We need to get back to that though. I probably gonna do that next week.
Is this question from BJC or BGCSE?
BJC. So it says one box contains a dozen cookies. 5 chocolate. So one box contains a dozen cookies. What is a dozen?
12.
12, yeah. 5 chocolate chips, 2 oatmeal, 1 red velvet, and the remainder are sugar cookies. How many sugar cookies are in the box? Anyone? That should be pretty straightforward. Sugar cookies.
4.
So
5.
we know that 12 in total is in the box,
4.
right? And we want to subtract that from
Oh,
what?
You're subtracting it from
5
2
plus 2 and 1.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 12 minus what?
8.
5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 is
8.
What is 12 minus 8?
4.
12 minus 8 is 4. 4. So there are 4 cookies. Now, one cookie is chosen at random. This is very important. Once you see something that say at random, you know that they're asking you for. The next thing they're gonna ask you for is probability. Why? Why is it that when I say at random, you know they're gonna talk about probability?
Like what is
what is the chance? The chance of you picking out a specific thing?
Yeah, because that's one of the criteria when we're talking about an experiment. So when we're looking at probability, right? For us to have a probability, we have to have an experiment going on, and that experiment has to be such that there's randomness to it, right? If there's no randomness to it, then why are we talking about probability, right? There has to be some randomness to it, some chance that, okay, it could, like that this is the idea. We should not know the end before we start, right? That's the idea when it comes to an experiment. We do not, that's why we do the experiment. We don't know what the end is going to be. Take, for example, something like tossing a coin, right? Is that a random experiment?
It depends on how you doing it.
Let's say that it's
Yeah, that is random.
let's say that it's not weighted, right? So the coin is not weighted on either side. So that means that each side have an equal likelihood of being picked, right? Would that be a random experiment?
Yeah.
Yes or no? It ain't that
Yeah,
deep.
it depends
It
on
ain't
what
that
you
deep.
doing it.
It ain't that deep. I mean,
I'd say no,
why no?
because you're tossing a coin. If you just spin a coin, and you say that they're weighted on the same thing on the same side. So
No, they're not weighted.
oh,
They're
not
not
weighted.
not
Oh,
weighted.
then
What you
it'll be
mean
an
it
experiment then.
like a paperweight?
No, when I say not weighted, that means that you know when you have weighted coins, like let's say for example, if someone want to cheat you, right? They would put more weight on the heads so that it would always fall on heads, right? But
Oh,
here I'm talking about a fair coin. A fair coin, right? A fair coin is that would be a random experiment because we do not know what is going to happen at the end.
what if a robot is tossing the coin?
Oh my, Bethel. Let's stick to the simple stuff.
Then it'll be
A fair
probability.
tossing a fair coin would be a random experiment because we do not know whether we're going to get heads or tails when we toss this coin. What would be, and hence we need probability, right? What would be, what else would be a random experiment? What other activities would be a random experiment?
Putting green, red, blue marbles in like a box and shaking it and then picking out one randomly.
Yeah, when you say randomly, that means without looking, right?
That's
So you're not gonna look, and we assume that all marbles have the same size. The only thing that distinguishes them is their color. That would be a random experiment because you don't know what the n is before you start. Another thing is how about rolling a fair die? So rolling a fair die. You know what I mean by a fair die?
Dice?
Yeah, dice. Yeah. And we say fair because we trying to, get the understanding that hey, it's not weighted. Like no one is trying to cheat you. Like everything, there's an equal opportunity. There's an equal opportunity or equal likelihood for any one of them to be chosen. And so when we have stuff like this, we use the probability formula. So in this one, they said it's chosen at random. Yes, sir.
No, never mind.
Okay. They say it's chosen at random. All right. So we're gonna choose a cookie at random. So we're either gonna close our eyes or we're gonna do some random procedure such that we don't know the end before we begin. So we close our eyes. Let's say, for example, we close our eyes and we are, let's say, for example, we're closing our eyes and we are, let's say, for example, we close our eyes and we are going to choose, we're going to choose a cookie from this box, right? And we want to figure what's the probability of choosing a chocolate cookie. Watch how I'm writing it. It's exactly how I want you to write it. P open bracket chocolate. All right, it's going to be equal to. So that's the probability of getting a chocolate. It's going to be equal to what? Well, you put a fraction bar.
That's 11.
5 and 12.
5 over 12.
Yeah.
5 over 12.
So where did we get the 12 from?
The total amount.
The total amount of cookies in the box.
Yeah. So probability is going to be equal to the total amount is going to be at the bottom. That's the numerator. That's your denominator. So 12, because it's 12 cookies. All right. And then 5, we want chocolate, right? So 5 is going to be 5 is going to be our numerator because we want 5 chocolate chip cookies. Sorry, 5 chocolate chip cookies. So the probability of getting a chocolate chip cookie at random by digging in a bag is going to be 5 over 12. So that's our answer. Notice that probability is given as a fraction. Okay, you could also give it in terms of a decimal if you want. I don't recommend doing that, but if you want, you can give it as a decimal. What would be as a decimal? 5.
12 divided by 5.
5 divided by 12, that's what?
0.41 or 0.42.
You don't round.
0.41.
6 and continuing.
Okay.
Do not write that. I mean, don't change it to a decimal. I'm just saying it could be represented as a decimal, but I don't recommend that. It can also be written as a percentage, but keep it as a fraction. Fraction is the simplest. Okay, now BII. So we want the probability that we get a peanut butter chocolate chip. Peanut butter cookie. And what's the answer for that one?
0 over 12.
0 over 12.
0 over 12. So 12 is the number of cookies in total. And 0 is going to be... We don't have no peanut butter cookies. Alright? What is 0 over 12? What is 0 over 12?
0
as a decimal?
0.
0.00%?
No, just 0. So the answer is 0. Okay? So it's important to know what 0 means. When we're looking at probabilities, probability can only be... Yes, ma'am?
So it wouldn't be 0 over 12, just 0 over 0?
It would be 0. 0 is your answer. Because 0 divided by 12 is 0. Again, 0 divided by 12 is 0. Now, it's important to understand when we have a probability, when we talk about probability, what do we mean? So if we have this probability spectrum, right? So this is what is allowed in probability. The probability of something can only be between 0 and 1. Where 0 means that it is impossible to happen. Like that's not never gonna happen. Give me some things that has a probability of 0.
Getting an Oreo cookie.
Get an Oreo cookie? Why is it impossible to get a... Oh yeah, you mean in there. You can't get an Oreo cookie because there's no Oreo cookies. The probability of getting a peanut butter cookie in a batch that doesn't have a peanut butter cookie is 0. The probability of a cow jumping over the moon, how likely is that?
0.
That's
What's
impossible.
the time spectrum of that?
The present.
Okay, 0.
Alright, what's another thing that's impossible?
And the government doing something good.
Bethel. Bethel, please. Give me something else. What's the probability? Something that's impossible. Probability of 0.
Well, pigs could fly.
A pigs could fly. Yeah, that's probably 0.
Paying off the flat.
Mr. Bethel, please.
Me being the president of the United States is impossible, so.
Oh,
I mean,
I mean, well, there's a way, there's a way. When there's a will, there's a way. Okay, something more realistic. Let's say the probability of
Cows
okay, that's
flying.
cows flying, right? The probability of
Well, cows could fly actually in an airplane. So.
A camel going through a
get a
needle.
plan.
the camel going through eye of a needle, yeah. The probability of say let's say we have a coin that has heads and tails, right? What's the probability of getting say something that is not a heads or tails, right? It's gonna be 0 because you always gonna get either a head or a tail. Okay. The probability if we have a dice, right? The dice has 6 sides, and so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is gonna be on the side there. What's the probability of getting an 8 with a die that only has that's only numbered up to 6?
0.
0.
0. Someone is asking a question. Oh. Yeah, if the die only has 6 sides, there's no way you're gonna get an 8.
With
If
the
they are,
coin,
yes, sir.
right? There's a possibility to get none of the sides, right?
I mean, unless you flip it such that it lands on, it's
That ain't possible.
yeah, that's I mean it's yeah. If to be free technical, it's kind of possible, but let's assume that that's not possible. It's gonna be 0, right? We're just trying to be simple here. We ain't trying to be deep. Okay, now so 0 means impossible. 1 means, what do you think 1 means?
Possible.
A whole.
More than possible.
Guaranteed?
It's a chance you
Guaranteed.
get it.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
So that's like a whole, right?
It's a whole. It means that it will definitely happen. Okay?
So 1 is that it would happen.
So 0 means it's impossible, and 1 means that it definitely will happen. You can't stop it from happening. So let's say, for example, you have a bag that is full of fruit. So this is a fruit. This is another fruit, a banana. This is another fruit, grapes. So what's the probability that when I put my hand in there, that I will get a fruit when I pull it out?
Definitely will happen. You'll get a fruit.
I'll definitely get a fruit. All right. I might not get the same fruit, but if I put my hand in a bag of fruit and pull something out, I am definitely going to get a fruit. So the probability of that is going to be 1 because it's definitely going to happen. So the same thing with this bag. What's the probability of me getting a cookie when I put my hand in this bag?
Possible.
It's definitely possible. It's going to be what? What's the probability?
You mean based on that or based on nothing?
Based on this, the cookie. I put my hand inside this cookie box. What's the probability that I will get a cookie?
12?
No. So let's do it. The probability. Come on, people. The probability of a cookie.
Oh, hold on. What you talking about?
How much cookies we have in the bag?
We have 12 cookies.
12 cookies in the bag. All right. What do I want?
A cookie.
A
cookie. So it's 12. What is 12 divided by 12?
1.
1. Very good. So that's what I'm saying. It definitely will happen. Okay.
You see what you call this probability spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Does have anything to do with like how computers is run? Because I remember it being they have zeros and one, like that's all they is out.
Oh, zeros and ones. No, well, probability doesn't only have to have 0 and 1s. I'm just doing the boundaries first, and then we're gonna go in on. But probability can go from 0 to 1. So you can never have a probability of 6. That's impossible. There's no such thing. So if in your answer you get something like, if you get something over 1, like something above 1, like if you get 10 or 5 or 16, you know your answer is wrong. Probability either is going to be from 0 to 1, in between there, or 0 or 1.
Well,
Okay?
and you could get like a fraction. I mean decimate.
Yeah, but that's still between 0 and 1. Understand?
Okay.
Okay, so what if we get something in the middle? What does
Yeah,
that mean?
50%.
Yeah.
Possible
So,
or something like that.
so 50% chance it will, 50% chance it will not. Okay? What if we get something right here? That'll be what?
Most likely it won't happen. You wouldn't.
A quarter.
25%, yeah. 25% chance it will happen. And then here is going to be 75% chance
75%.
it won't happen. So this is going to be 1 over 4. This is going to be a half. This is going to be 3 over 4. And this is going to be, where do you have it, a whole. Okay. Alright, so
Question
that's the
is
idea.
like,
Yes, ma'am.
why do we have it in the middle? I thought it was either 0 or 1. Why do
No,
we have an actual number?
probabilities can be between 0 and 1. So it can lie anywhere between 0 and 1. Okay? So that's why we have 5 over 12. Notice this is the answer, 5 over 12. 5 over 12 is less than 1. You agree?
Oh, okay, now I get it. All right.
Yeah. And then 0 is 0. I mean, it could be 0. We could have a probability of 0. Or we could have a probability of greater than 0, but it can't be bigger than 1.
Oh, because like a 12 over 12, that equals to 1, a whole, right?
Yeah, maybe a whole, yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Okay. So this would be mean when we say probability. It's easy to do probability. You just need to put your denominator is going to be the total, right? Like here we put our total number of cookies. So it's going to be the total at the bottom. And then your numerator is going to be how much do you have of that particular thing. So we only have 5 chocolates, so it's going to be 5 over 12. Same thing for the peanut butter. We have no peanut butter cookies. So it's going to be 0. And then we have a total number of 12 cookies in all. So it's going to be 0 divided by 12. And we know 0 divided by 12 is?
0.
0. Let me just prove that here with my lovely calculator. This will be the last time I'm using this for today, so I might as well take advantage of it. Okay. 0 divided by 12. So 0, Claire, 0 divided by 12 is 0. But 12 divided by 0 is undefined. It's an error. You can't divide by 12. We can't divide by 0. But you could say 0 divided by 12, and that's 0.
So, Mr. Petit, if in the exam we just leave it as 0 over 12, would we be penalized?
You always want to simplify it. So put equal to 0. That's why here, notice what I did. Follow my working. On the side, in the working, I have what? 0 over 12. And then in my answer, what I put?
It's 0.
I put 0. Okay, so make sure to do that. Alright. Well, now we good. Now we ready for English.
So you show us the easy way, but what's the hard way?
What the hard way? These are
Yeah,
the simple ones. These are the simple ones. We haven't gone to the hard ones yet. The hard ones, the hard ones, the hardest that this get is when you're dealing with probability trees. We should do that tomorrow. If not tomorrow, Monday. But we get into it. Okay. All right. So that's it for math. Please send in all the math notes.
When you say probability tree, that's like when you keep on doing it over and over, right?
No, probability trees would be something like, you start at one point. You say, okay, what's the probability of a silver car passing through this yard? Okay, is the car that passed gonna be silver or not silver? Then you go here. The probability of the car being silver, this is not silver. What's the probability of the first car being silver, but the second car being silver, and the second car being not silver? What's the probability of the first car being not silver and the second car being silver, but the second car could also be not silver again, and
Okay,
so
can
on.
we resume that next class?
Yeah, let's resume that.
No,
Yeah,
it ain't that bad. It's not that bad.
another day. Another day.
Anyway, it's
Yeah,
not
that's
that
another
bad.
day. That's another day.
Anyway, okay, so that's probability trees. All right, let's move on. We're not gonna do that today, though. We are going to go to my second. I really love Wednesdays and Mondays. I love Wednesdays and Mondays, particularly for our English class. I like reading those stories. It was really good. So let's see what's in store for us today.
Yay!
Let's say yay. All right. But today's maths class was pretty easy, though, right?
To you.
It felt long. Okay. I mean, we only did one
But we would
major.
do a Pascal triangle.
Oh, Pascal's triangle. That's not tested on your exam. But that's Pascal's triangle ain't hard. That's simple stuff. That's just it's pretty too. But Pascal's triangle deals with it's very useful though. A lot of uses for that. A lot of uses for Pascal's triangle, buddy. Wait, they give me an opportunity to pull up this reading comprehension for us. I think for number 3. Reading comprehension 3. That's the one that we did. That we's on. Okay. It's coming up. Yeah. Good. Alright. Miss Nixon, you don't mind reading for us, right?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, awesome. Good.
Once our words in there don't, cause any tongue twisters.
I know, right? Just be prepared for anything, boy. Be prepared for anything. So I'm gonna start it off. And then I want you to read. Okay, so I can read passage 1, you can read passage 2. It's actually 2 passages. It's 2 passages, but 1 comprehension exercise. So let's read the 2. So I'll read passage 1 and then I'll let you read passage 2. Alright, so listen carefully. All eyes and ears in. If there's a word that you do not know, write it down. Look it up. Put that in your vocabulary list. Alright? Okay, so let's go. Passage 1 is adapted from Talleyrand et al. Report on Public Instruction. Originally books published in 1971 and 1791. Passage 2 is adapted from Mary Wollstonecraft, A Vindication of the Rights of Women. This looks like this could be interesting. Originally published in 1792. Talleyrand was a French diplomat. The report was a plan for national education. Wollstonecraft, a British novelist and political writer, wrote Vindication in response to Talleyrand. Okay, this looks like this is going to be good. Can't wait. Alright, so, wow, can't wait, let's go. Passage 1. That half the human race is excluded by the other half from any participation in government. That they are native by birth, but foreign by law in the very land where they were born. And that they are property owners, yet have no direct influence or representation, are all public phenomena apparently impossible to explain on abstract principle. But on another level of ideas, the question changes and may be easily resolved. The purpose of all these institutions must be the happiness of the greatest number. Everything that leads us farther from this purpose is in error. Everything that brings us closer is truth. If the exclusion from public employments decreed against women leads to a greater sum of mutual happiness for the two sexes, then this should become a law that all societies have been compelled to acknowledge and sanction. Another ambition would be a reversal of our primary destinies. In women's interest to change the assignment they have received. It seems to us incontestable that our common happiness, above all that of women, requires that they never aspire to the exercise of political rights and function. Here we must seek their interests in the wishes of nature. Is it not apparent that their delicate constitutions, their peaceful inclinations, and the many duties of motherhood set them apart from strenuous habits and onerous duties, and summon them to gentle occupations and the cares of the home? Oh my, I love this already. I really love this. This is amazing. I love this. Wow, this is nice. Y'all following or y'all here? This is a really nice
I
passage.
lost, to be honest.
Wow, no.
I lost.
This is a good passage. We could really dissect it. Anyway, I like it already. And is it not evident that the great conserving principles of societies, which makes the division of the powers a source of harmony, has been expressed and revealed by nature itself? When it divided the function of the two sexes in so obviously distinct a manner? Wow. This is sufficient. We need not invoke principles that are inapplicable to the question. Let us not make rivals of life companions. You truly must allow the persistence of a union that no interest, no rivalry can possibly undo. Understand that the good of all demands this of you. Nice. I love it. Okay, so let's read passage 2.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
All right, good. Contending for the rights of women, my main argument is built on this simple principle that if she be not prepared by education to become companion of man, she will stop the progress of knowledge and virtue. For truth must be common to all, or it will be
inefficacious
with respect to its influence on general practice. And how can women be expected to cooperate unless she know why she ought to be virtuous? Unless freedom strengthen her reason till she comprehend her duty and see in what manner it is connected with her real good. If children are to be educated to understand the true principle of patriotism, am I saying it correct?
Patriotism.
patriotism. Their mother. Oh, are you moving it? Where did it go? I think you moved it up a little bit.
No, their mother must be a patriot.
Oh, sorry. Their mother must be a patriot, and the love of mankind from which an orderly train of virtues spring can only be produced by considering the moral and civil interests of mankind. But the education and situation of women at present shuts her out from such investigations. Consider, sir, dispassionately these observations, for a glimpse of this truth seems to be open before you when you observe that to see one half of the woman race excluded by the other from all participation of government was a political phenomenon that, according to abstract principle, it was impossible to explain. If so, on what does your Constitution rest? If the abstract rights of man will bear discussion and explanation. Oh, you're moving it a little too fast. Sorry. Those of woman, by a parity of reason, will not shrink from the same test. Though a different opinion prevails in this country, built on the very arguments which you use to justify the oppression of woman, prescription. Consider I address you as legislator, whether when men contend for their freedom and to be allowed to judge for themselves, respecting their own happiness, it be not inconsistent and unjust to subjugate women, even when you firmly believe that you are acting in the manner best calculated to promote their happiness. Who made man the exclusive judge? If woman partake with him the gift of reason. In this style, argue tyrants of every denomination, from the weak king to the weak father of a family, they are all eager to crush reason, yet always assert that they usurp its throne only to be useful. Do you not act a similar part when you force all women, by denying them civil and political rights, to remain immured in their families, groping in the dark?
In the dark. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's deep. That's deep.
That's the deep passage.
On right,
That's
deep.
Mine was wondering the same thing while I was reading it.
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. All right, so
Yeah.
all right, so okay, so let's start with the passage I read. What was my passage basically saying? What was it defending? Which side?
The women's side.
The women's side.
The women's right to vote.
The one that I read. The one that I read.
Yeah.
The one that I read. Anyone? So
that women should be equal?
No, definitely not. Not from the one I read.
They should work together with men.
They should work together with men. The one that I read was trying to bring forth the argument that women should stay away from politics, right? And they should stay away from civil duties. And the reason why they say that is because they're saying that, hey, that's what he said. He said, is it not apparent? And he's saying that, listen, I love how he decided to be a man to write this. He said, is it not apparent that there, let me highlight this. He said, okay, so let's go there. He said, let's read it right down. So he said, is it not apparent that their delicate constitutions, their peaceful inclinations, and the many duties of motherhood set them apart from strenuous habits and onerous duties, and summon them to gentle occupations and cares of the home? My man, I love that. Like, you know what he's saying, right? What is he saying in that, in those few sentences?
Should a woman should be a woman?
A woman should be a woman should be a woman. Anyone else?
To be able to do what they want to do.
Not do what they want to do. He said they
Yeah,
are
I said
That
that.
this kind of thing isn't for women.
isn't for woman. Why isn't for woman?
Because of their biology.
Because of their biology. What does he mention specifically about their biology?
Their
Is that they're
tendencies
gentle
to
and
be
peaceful?
They're delicate. Delicate. What
Right.
does it mean to be delicate?
Very soft, easy to
Soft.
move.
Soft,
fragile.
fragile, easy to break, right?
Can't
They're
take much.
delicate, can't take much. They're delicate constitutions. They are peaceful inclinations. He's trying to say that women, they love to. He's making isn't this a fallacy though? He's making,
A
when we talk
stereotype.
about this, generalization, sweeping generalization. But he's trying to make the case that, hey, um, their physical nature is telling us that, hey, they supposed to be doing mother duties, right?
Right.
And not, and he said, lead them to gentle occupations and the cares of the home. Okay,
And
so he's saying,
also
uh,
where he was saying set them apart from strenuous habits.
yeah, set them apart from strenuous habits. What is a strenuous habit? Something that requires strength, that requires a lot of work.
Right.
And
Okay, so who agree with him? Do we have anyone who agree with him that, hey,
Some parts, not all.
some parts, not all? Like, what do you mean? You think he have a point?
Yeah,
To what
women is
extent?
delicate and they tend to be
yeah.
drawn to do motherhood rather than strenuous habits. So that's
I think
Okay.
true.
he's misogynistic.
You think he's but okay, does he have a point though? Or no? You
Yes,
think
he does.
Yeah.
you have a point?
I mean, not really, because there's women who are very masculine.
Say it again?
There are some women that are very, like, they don't want kids, and like,
Okay.
what the word is, you said he was teaching us, man, generalizing. Oh,
Sweeping generalization.
yeah, because some women don't even want kids. They ain't like soft and delicate, and
Uh-huh.
so
Okay.
basically stereotypical.
Okay, but okay. But remember when we talk about giving arguments, we talk about presenting both sides. So you don't want to just say that, okay, he ain't making absolute sense. Can you see any point, like any good point that he has? Like, is he totally off the wall, or does he has
Not
some?
all off, but he
He
still
have a
got some.
point where he said it was delicate, but
Uh-huh.
not all women are delicate. Like some.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. So he is saying that.
Yeah, he has a valid point, but then he has to look at the other side too, because the other side is that not all women are into many duties of childhood, and some of them think that they could do the same thing that men can do, so they won't technically want to be a part of that kind of, lifestyle. But okay, he makes sense to some.
He makes sense. Notice the part that I highlighted. He say, here we must seek the interest in the wishes of nature. So he is saying, he's trying to make the case that, hey, if we try to answer the question of should women be involved in politics, we should look at nature and see what nature tells us about the roles of men and women. All right? And he's saying that nature,
Women are overly emotional.
yeah, they're emotional and stuff like that. So he's saying that, hey, because they are more, as a general rule, they are more delicate, they are more calm, they are more peaceful. The stuff that men do, they should try to set themselves apart from it, right? Let's see what else he's saying. He's also saying that and is it not evident that the great conserving principle of societies, which makes the division of the powers a source of harmony, has been expressed and revealed by nature itself? So he's making the case again. He's saying nature is telling us these things. He said, when it is divided, the function of the two sexes in so obviously a distinct manner, this is sufficient. He's saying that nature telling us, that's all we need to know. We don't need to analyze this thing any more further. This is sufficient. Like, let's stop talking about this. Nature already tell us what men's supposed to do and what women's supposed to do. But what he's saying that their distinct constitutions outline their distinct roles, and he's saying that that's not actually a bad thing. He's saying that it's going to give a source of harmony, right? So he's saying because they have different roles, and because they have different constitutions physically, they are able to work and complement each other. That's his case, right? And then he says, let us not make rivals of life companions. What he's trying to say? Let us not make rivals of life companions.
Let's not go against one another.
Say it again.
Don't make enemies.
Say it again.
Not to
Let
make
us not
enemies.
Don't make enemies. More than that, he say, let us not make rivals of life companions. Remember, he's
trying to mean like don't like separate or like divide, whereas women and men like against each other.
Yes.
Or Pacific.
Yes. He's saying, let's don't make this a competition, right? If men ought to be in politics and only men, then let them be in it. If women ought to do home duties, then let them be in it. Like, let's not try and make it where women try to be in politics and men trying to be in home. Like, let's not have a tug of war, because he's saying his case is that if we work in our own specific locations, we will have a better source of harmony and we would have the good of everybody, right? He's saying that the good of all demands this. So he's saying that, women should not try to be seeking to do what men should do, and men should not try to be seeking what women do, because it could cause competition, it could cause rivalry, and it's not going to work. Let them, nature already tell us what women's supposed to do, nature already tell us what men's supposed to do. Let men be men and women be women. That's his case. All right?
He's just trying to keep the life. The balance. I keep it balanced.
I mean, that's his case, right? But do we understand what he's saying, though?
Seek equilibrium.
Yeah, he try to seek equilibrium, trying to balance everything.
So he on the right path.
You think he's on the right path? All right. All right.
Yeah,
so
that's all the universe wants, is to be equal.
To be in balance. All right. So passage 2. Now, passage 2 obviously is a woman writing this. I can't think of none other. But this is a deep passage. I like this one. Passage 2 is actually a rebuttal to passage 1. Right? And this one, I mean, she really gives some good, serious points. All right, so let's dissect it, right? So she said, contending for the rights of women, my main argument is built on the simple principle that if she be not prepared by education to become the companion of man, she will stop the progress of knowledge and virtue. For truth must be common to all, or it will be inefficacious with respect to its influence on general practice. Very important thing that she is saying. Man, this thing is highlighting everything. Can I undo? Okay, so she's saying that. Okay, good. What is she saying in common language? By these simple words, the same. I want just the same thing right there. What is she saying in common language? You had to put this in to explain it to grade 3. What is she trying to explain with this, with a main point?
That if she don't like fit under the category of men, she would like stop trying to like.
No.
I think
Anyone
she's trying
else?
to say like the world would be a better place if the woman is smart as the man.
Hidden close to it. You're hitting close. I like what you're saying. She says she's contending for the rights of women. I mean, she's trying to say why women should be allowed to be in parliament and to do the men stuff. And her simple principle is that she's saying that if the woman is not prepared by education to become the companion of man, in other words, if you don't teach the woman what she ought to do, if the woman is not sufficiently educated to know what to do, she's saying, how can she possibly pass that information to her children? Like, if she don't know how to read, how she can educate her children to know how to read? That's the case that she's making. You see what I'm saying? She's saying, for truth must be common to all, or it will not be efficacious. Or it will be inefficacious. What she is saying, if the person does not know by experience what's happening, then when they try to relate that information to someone else, it's not going to be as strong. Like, say, for example, a mother who, say, never went to university, never went to college, right? Yet they're telling their children to go to college, to go to university. Will it be as strong as if they went and they passed? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get a point now, right? So our point is that truth must be common. So the woman must know. She must be educated. She must have experience in college, in school, in these things, so that when she's gonna teach her children now, she's gonna be able to know what to say and to say, yeah, I remember when I was doing this when I was a child. I remember when I was in this course, and I remember when I almost failed, or I remember when I was in Mr. Petit class struggling to get this BGCSE. I know how it is, and so now I can tell you, right? And then she says, and how can a woman be expected to cooperate unless she what? Know what? Why she ought to be virtuous. So she's saying, hey, you have to educate them. You have to educate them. They must not, you can't hold education from them, right? And she says, unless freedom strengthen her reason till she comprehend her duty and see in what manner it is connected to her real good. If children are to be educated to understand the true principle of patriotism, their mother must be a patriot. That's a good one. She's saying that, hey, how you gonna, the mother's the one who's gonna teach them about love of country and, love of the freedoms of the land. And
Teaching
if
them
she,
culture and history.
yeah, and if she is not convinced of these things, or if she don't know of these things, or if she don't appreciate these things, then how can she train the children? That's the case she's making. She said right there, but the education and situation of women at present shuts her out from any such investigations, right? So y'all are shutting her out from, it's a case that, hey, she is not being allowed to be free to explore. She's not being allowed to be free um to be involved in politics. She's not being allowed to be free to involve in these things. So if you shut her out from these investigations, how you expect her to be able to train these children? You see what I'm saying? So that's her case. Do you think she has a good case? A weak case? What do you think?
And making a little bit of sense.
Making a little bit of sense?
No, that's strong to me.
Yeah, I think she has a strong case.
Yeah, that's standing its ground.
Could be stronger.
Nancy says stand on the ground. Nancy, you think that's any bias on your part?
No.
No way. Yeah, okay.
She makes a good point because if the mom is at work all day and she put the kids out, she's supposed to like teach the kids and about life and stuff if the man also works out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So, but I like that point, but I love this point, the second point, better. I think the second point really hits the nail on the head. Um, she said, consider, sir,
I just
So
think
apparently,
compared to the first essay, hers have more reasons and it helps you to understand, like it brings it together,
it brings
basically.
it together. See, oh, okay, all right, all right. There may be some bias in there, but anyway, I
It's
wouldn't.
fair too. Fair.
It's fair, all
It's
right.
fair.
Yeah.
But the man gave his stuff by nature. He said, "Listen, we ain't even have to argue this. Nature already tell us." He said right there, "This is sufficient. That's it. Nature already tell us." All right. So let's consider. It says, "Consider, sir, dispassionately." When she says dispassionately, what does she mean in? Consider, sir, dispassionately.
Don't be too emotional.
Don't be too emotional. Just look at it for what it is, right? So consider, sir, dispassionately these observations. For a glimpse of this truth. For a glimpse of this truth seemed to be open before you when you observed that to see one half of the human race excluded, by the other from all participation of government was a political phenomenon that according to abstract principles it was impossible to explain. So what she is doing here is she is saying, hey, remember what you said in your essay, right? That you cannot explain this. You cannot explain why women is not involved in politics. You cannot explain, in fact, you are even surprised that women are not involved in politics, and you cannot explain it according to abstract principles, right? Then she says, if you cannot explain it according to that, then what, on what ground are you trying to explain it? All right? She says right there, if the abstract rights of man will bear discussion and explanation, those of woman by parity of reason will not shrink from the same test. She's saying that if you could explain the rights of a man using abstract principles, why can't you explain the rights of a woman using abstract principles? Um, she says, though a different opinion prevails in this country, built on very arguments which you use to justify the oppression of women, prescription. So she is saying that the only reason why y'all are justifying women being suppressed is prescription. What does that mean? What is she trying to say? Prescription.
Because it was always that way.
Because it's always that way. Prescription. Who gives you a prescription?
Doctor.
A doctor. So a
Someone
prescription,
smarter.
a prescription is something that is assigned. All right.
Like an
Something that
order?
is assigned. That's like
Right.
it's prescribed. It's like she's saying that the only way
An
or the
instruction.
only reason, yeah, the only reason why we have this man being in politics is because of assignment. That's what you all choose. That's not what it's supposed to be. That's what you all choose, right? So she's saying that there's no real ground for it. It's only because of what you all decide to choose. That's why it's like this. But you trying to use nature to say nature says it, but I don't agree with you because it's in and has nothing to do with nature. It's because of what you all assign. That's what she's saying. Okay. All right. But I love this is the part where I really love about the argument. I think this is the strongest. In my opinion, this one really is a very good, strong argument right here. I like this one above all the arguments that she make. She says, consider, I address you as a legislator, whether whether when men contend for their freedom and be allowed to judge for themselves respecting their own happiness, it be not inconsistent and unjust to subjugate women, even though you firmly believe that you are acting in a manner best calculated to promote their happiness. Then she asks the question, who made man the exclusive judge if women partake with him the same gift of reason? I
Oh,
like that.
that's powerful.
That's powerful right there. I like that. She's saying that, hey, both men and women have brains. Or two of them have brains. So why is it that you all could say that it's good for y'all to be in politics, but y'all can't help the woman when they say they want to be in politics? If you understand what I mean? Don't they both have brains? That's what she's saying. Reason, that's what she
Yeah.
mean by reason. Right? That's what she's saying. Okay? Don't they both have brains? Don't they both have the ability to, you know, um, understand and think for themselves? Right? That's what she is saying. All right? Give me one moment. Give me one moment. All right. Okay, so let's get back to it. Okay. Okay, so I love this. I love this. I love this. She says, this is the powerful one right there. She says, in this style, argue tyrants of every denomination. She's saying that this ain't the first time this happening. Like persons always do this. They made the case that even though both of us have brains and both of us could think of ourselves, because we hold some authority, we could tell you what's best for you. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. She's saying, hey, from the weak king, right, to the weak father of the family, they are all eager to crush reason, yet always assert that they usurp its throne only to be useful. Right? So she's saying that, hey, the king also does it. Right? The king would say, hey, you know what's best for us? What's best for us is that we build this farm, and in this farm, all y'all gonna work, and just give all the money to me. Give all the money to me. You say, but why, king? Why be giving all the money to you? I want what's best for you, okay? I want what's best for you. But the king, me and you, both of us have a brain. Why are you telling me what's best for me? And and I can't say what's best for myself. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So that's the idea. So she's saying, why can men say what's best for themselves? And yet they also have the right to say what's best for women, and yet women and men have the same brains. And so why cannot they also say what's best for them? You understand what I'm saying? So
Yes,
that's a
sir.
case. That's a case. She says, do you not act in a similar part when you force all women by denying them civil and political rights to remain immersed in their families, groping in the dark? What does she mean? Does she mean literally?
No,
No.
I think
No.
because
No.
she don't have the education.
Exactly. Because she don't have the education and she don't have the the free will to do certain things. She's basically nothing more than a child, right? Nothing more than a child. And that's a sad state to be in. I don't wish that on none of my young lady with students. Um,
Well,
okay.
she probably should do this in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Okay, so number 31. But do we understand the essays? Do we understand them?
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
have an
it's supposed to
opinion.
be a debate, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Kennedy. Let me hear his
So
opinion.
right, the female version to the rebuttal, I ain't
Uh-huh.
gonna lie, that didn't make any sense. She didn't explain why, um, as a female, how she could be good to be in the political
Uh-huh.
area. She never
Uh-huh.
explained that.
Okay, 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 okay.
She was just insulting men for not
Okay.
putting them in that political state. But I understand what
Okay.
she getting though.
Okay, you understand what she's getting. All right. You feel that she didn't. She just was saying, "Why you don't let us? Why you don't let us? Why you don't let us?" And not saying why we're good at why we're good for it. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, like she
Okay.
keep explaining the same point in different ways.
In different ways. Okay. Anyone else? Comments, questions?
I think she had a good vocabulary.
Think she had a good vocabulary. Okay.
Yeah, more she used her vocabulary better than the man argument.
She used it. I think hers was more readable. I understood hers more. The man one at the beginning, you have to be very keen to understand what this guy is saying.
He was just rambling.
He was good. I like him too. But I really understood him better when he started talking about nature and stuff like that. Um, um, and so I think hers was more readable, and hers had more points. But of course, she was feeding off what he said, so that's also going to be a reason too. At any rate, any personal opinions on rights of women in the Bahamas or in general?
I think they get enough.
Think they have enough? All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think it's really balanced as way it is. Maybe unbalanced towards the men.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think it's fair.
You think it's fair? All right.
Both made awesome. I see you calling me biased, Miss Vati. That's not true. But anyhow, I think both made valid points, and
Yeah, I think both.
I just think we gotta adjust to it because
Uh-huh.
she made good points, but then
Uh-huh.
she was really bouncing off what he say.
Yeah.
But we can also two could come together to make it better for both sides. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think these were great passages. I like these ones. Okay, so let's look at number 31. As using 921, common most nearly means, is it A, average, B, shared, C, coarse, or D, similar? So let's go to line
Similar.
21.
Mm,
21.
Sure.
It seems to us incontestable that our common happiness, above all that of women, requires that they never aspire to the exercise of political rights and function. So is it, when you say common, it seems to us incontestable that our common happiness, what do you mean? Our common happiness, what is that?
Everyone.
Is it average happiness, shared happiness, coarse happiness, or similar happiness?
Would be B, shared.
B.
I think
Yes,
shared.
B,
I
shared.
said B.
Shared happiness. Okay. All right, number 32. It can be inferred that the authors of passage 1 believe that running a household and raising children are rewarding for men as well as for women, yield less value for society than do the roles performed by men, entail of very few activities that are difficult or unpleasant, require skills similar to those needed to run a country or business.
I would go with A.
We go with A.
I think C.
I didn't
Think
quite
C.
understand the question.
E, I think.
Me neither.
It can be inferred that the author of passage 1 believe that running a household and raising children are A, rewarding for men as well as for women, B, yield less value for a country, for a society, than do roles performed by men, entail very few activities that are difficult or unpleasant, require needed to those require skills similar to those needed to run a country or a business.
A.
A.
I don't know. I think D. I don't know.
Think D.
I
So
think
what does he believe about running a household and raising children?
I think you can't say it ain't easy.
No.
it's not
You think
easy at
you think he believe
times.
that they are easy or hard?
Hard.
Easy.
Hard.
Hard.
Let's look at line 25 to 30, right? What do you say? Here we must seek the wishes of nature. Is it not apparent that their delicate constitutions, they are peaceful inclinations, and the many duties of motherhood, right? So we're talking about motherhood, right? What does he believe about these duties of motherhood? Set them apart from strenuous habits. So does he believe it's hard?
Yeah.
It's B. I choose B.
No, he believe it's easy.
He believes it's easy. Onerous duties. What onerous duties means? When we say onerous, what does that mean? Something that is difficult. So he's saying that their duties of motherhood set them apart from things that require a lot of energy and require a lot of strength. Set them apart from difficult things and summon them or call them to gentle occupations and the cares of the home. So he's saying that caring for the home, right? Dealing with the stuff of motherhood, raising children and stuff, these stuff are not difficult. All right?
So it's B.
So it's C.
Yeah, I go with C.
Entail very
Oh,
few
my bad.
Very
activities
few activities.
that are difficult or unpleasant. Okay?
I was meaning C. My bad. I was looking at B.
Okay, yeah. He's saying this. He says it's not difficult, man. They are less strenuous and stuff. Okay, let's go to number 33. Which choice provides the best evidence to the previous question? We already answered that already. That will be line 25.
Isn't it C?
30. Yes, ma'am.
Can you go back up? I was writing the last word of the answer.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
All right, number 34. Okay, so according to the passage 2, in order for society to progress, women must enjoy personal happiness and financial security. B. Follow all currently prescribed social rules. C. Replace men as figures of power and authority. Or D. Receive an education comparable to that of men.
D.
D. Very good. Very good. All right. I'm glad y'all got that. That's good. It is D. Because she's saying, remember what she said? She
You got
said,
a
hey,
hand
listen.
right below it too.
Oh, brains. That's true. We discussed it, right? So she is saying that she said that, hey, she says that, how can a woman be expected to cooperate unless she know, right? How she ought to be virtuous. And she says, for truth to be common to all, she says, that if she be not prepared by what? By education to become the companion of man, she will stop the progress of knowledge. Very good argument. I mean, I wouldn't even think of that argument. That's a strong argument. That's crazy. I wouldn't think of that.
I mean, two is better than one, so I don't know what it'll be.
2 is better than 1. What I'm trying to say is that she's making a case for their education. She's saying that, hey, I mean they have to be up there. I mean, they have to know how to read. They have to know how to do arithmetic. They have to know how to do these things, and they're comparable to men. They cannot be less sharp. They must be on par. Otherwise, how they can train up the little ones? How they can even function in society themselves? Very good point. Okay, so as used in line 50, reason most nearly means, is it A, motive, B, sanity, C, intellect, or D, explanation? It's line 50.
Probably D.
D.
D. Let's look at
I'd say D.
line 50. 50, 50, 50. And how can a woman be expected to cooperate unless she know why she ought to be virtuous, unless freedom strengthen her intellect till she comprehend her duty? All right. So reason here means intellect. So unless freedom strengthen her intellect, in other words, she should be free to read. She should be free to explore. She should be free to go on whatever job she need to go on so that her intellect, so that her understanding, so that her brain power, so that those things could be what? Developed, so that she could comprehend her duty, so she could understand her duty. All right, what she need to do.
So if the two following their dreams, like who could be at home?
I don't know, pay for a nanny, I guess.
But then the nanny doing her own dreams, she following her dreams too. She don't be no nanny. That's for women. That's for women of the past.
I mean that might be a dream. A dream might be to be a nanny of two rich people. I mean that may be a dream.
Yeah, but that's like being a stereotype. Why you gotta be a woman?
Pardon?
They say it don't have to be a woman, right?
What? It don't have to be a woman nanny?
Yeah, it could be like a butler.
I mean, you said it like, okay, what you mean? Who gonna be home? What gonna happen home? I mean,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what could happen to home if the
yeah,
female doesn't really want to take that boring job?
I think it's a cooperative thing, right? I don't think it should be left to one person alone because it's home building and both should have a part in that. Yeah, that's as much as I'd say. Both should have a part to play. The burden shouldn't be left on one. Because then when the burden is left on one, then that one link becomes too stressed out and was not. And so yeah, that's what I'd
It's
say.
better stand on 2 feet.
Yeah, better to stand on 2 feet. All right, so passage 2. In passage 2, the author claims that freedoms granted by society have privileged one gender over the other. B, resulted in general reduction in individual virtue. C, caused arguments about the nature of happiness. Or D, ensured equality for all people.
I think it's A.
Yeah, it's A. Privilege one gender over the other. Which gender is that?
Men? Males?
Yeah. Yeah. She's saying that.
You know, it's funny that if you said that, like, nowadays, you would be like, which gender? Like, man, female, transgender, quadrisexual.
plus take away all them foolishness. All right. The button.
Just calling it one time.
Oh my. All right. Okay, YouTube. Please, YouTube. We didn't mean that. Okay. We don't take this video down.
All jokes.
We just was playing YouTube. Please, YouTube.
Friendly fire.
Yeah.
You can edit that out, right?
I just remember.
If I can edit it out, no, I just put it up.
I wanted
No
that
more
too, but
copyright. No copyright.
I even forget this recording.
I hear it inside the U.S. Like the teacher gets sued because the child identified as a cat and she didn't meow to her.
Wow. That no true. That no true.
Wow,
Okay.
that's unbelievable.
Anyway, let's stay focused. Number 37. Which choice? Ricardo, you asking a question? I thought I heard someone asking a question.
I think they say they didn't know it's recording.
Okay. Okay, number 37. Which choice provides the best evidence to answer the previous question? This is number 36, right? Let's look at line. Let's say line 72 to 75. Because say I address you as legislator whether men contend for their freedom and be allowed to judge for themselves respecting their own happiness. It be not inconsistent and unjust to subjugate women, even though you firmly believe that you are acting in a manner best calculated to promote their happiness. This is where she said right there from line 72 to 75. So she really hit on that. She's saying that they are contending for their own happiness. So the correct answer here would be D. Yeah. All right. Number 38. In line 61 to 65, the author of passage 2 refers to a statement made in passage 1, right? In order to, is it A, call into question the qualifications of the authors of passage 1 regarding gender issues, dispute the assertion made about women in the first sentence of passage 1, develop an argument by highlighting what she sees as flawed reason in passage 1, validate the concluding declarations made by the authors of passage 1 about gender roles. So why did she include the man's an excerpt from the man's passage? What did she do that for?
Because his reasoning was flawed.
Yeah. See, so she's trying to show that his reasoning was flawed because she's saying that hey, if we go here, she included it. You know, she's saying that hey, you say that it's impossible to explain this inequality by abstract principles. Then if that's the case, then what does your argument rest upon? Okay. All right. So she's trying to show that this argument is flawed, and to develop her argument as well. Okay. Okay. So number 39. Number 39. Oh, we only have 3 more minutes left. Wow. Okay. So English is be like that. We should extend this to 9:30. You know.
I have school in the morning, and I really don't get up early.
I have a feeling someone say that.
And y'all don't go to school no more. And y'all don't go to school no more. And it's like hybrid or something like that.
Mr.
Yeah,
Petit,
but we go 4 days a week.
I had to go every day.
Okay. All right. So, okay. All right then. No problem. But bear with me. Let's just finish the passage. Let's just finish up to 41. Can we do that?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Which best describes the overall relationship between passage 1 and passage 2? Is it A, passage 2 strongly challenges the point of view in passage 1?
Okay.
Is it B, passage 2 draws alternative conclusions from the evidence presented in passage 1? passage 2 elaborates on the proposal presented in passage 1, or passage 2 restates in different terms the argument presented in passage 1?
I think it's A.
It's definitely A.
A?
She
Yeah, 'cause she
strongly
challenged.
challenges, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She strongly challenges his viewpoint. So the answer is A. Alright, the authors of both passages would most likely agree with which of the following statements about women in the 18th century? Oh, this is long time. I see why this is such a big debate.
Right.
Is it A, their natural preferences were the same as those of men? They needed a good education to be successful in society. One moment, sorry. Give me one moment. One moment. Give me one moment, please. So which of the following statements would be which the author of both passages would most likely agree with which of the following statements about women in the 18th century? Is it A, their natural preferences were the same as those of men? They needed a good education to be successful in society. C, they were just as happy in life as men were. Or D, they generally enjoyed fewer rights than men did. Which one
A.
is correct? A, nope.
B.
D.
B?
Y'all
D.
just call them letters now. Y'all.
B.
No, I think it's D.
You think it's D?
B.
Anyone else?
B.
I would say C.
You'd say C? She's saying that which one that both of them would agree on. Like if you would say both of them would agree that women enjoyed fewer rights than men. Because if you look at what the guy said at the beginning, he said that half of the human race is excluded by the other half from any participation in government. That's what he's saying. He's saying that, hey, I agree that women are separated from participation in government. That's true. That they are
Oh,
native.
that word when you say it, when they use enjoy, they ain't really mean like happy.
No, they mean. What you mean? You talking about which part?
Like, when they say women enjoy fewer rights than men.
Oh yeah, no, they mean happy. Yeah, like they
Well,
mean
that changes everything. I thought they mean like women excited to
no.
be.
They enjoyed or they basically had. That's basically women had. That's a better word to put. Women had fewer rights than men did. And that's true. Both of them agreed on that point. The female agreed that women had fewer rights, and the men agreed that they had fewer rights. It's just that the man was saying, "Hey, here's the reason why they have fewer rights." But
Wow, it's amazing that they could put one word and completely change your mind. Wow.
yeah. All right, number 41. It's the last one. How would the author?
Why did he put enjoy though if it don't mean what it like say?
No, it does mean okay. They generally enjoyed fewer rights than men did. Okay, even though that's just another way of saying had or they generally had fewer rights than men did, or you could say they generally um were provided with fewer rights than men did, or um they generally um they generally were provided with, they generally had the opportunity to, right? That's what they're trying to say. So the few rights they had, they enjoyed, right? But not in a sense that, not in the literal sense that you understand enjoy in, but enjoy in the sense that it just was something that was provided to them.
This is my first time hearing something like that. I thought enjoy,
What?
enjoy.
Yeah, like that's why I changed my answer to a different one because I was like, they wouldn't enjoy it really and truly if you think about it.
Yeah, not in that sense. They just mean the few that they just means that they had it, that they
So
that
this
that was their
enjoyment,
lot.
something like exercising.
Yeah, so they just that's just something that they were given the privy to, that's something um that the government decided to give them. They had fewer rights than men. That's what that. It's better to say that, but that's what he meant. That's what he meant. Okay. How would the authors of passage one most likely respond to the points made in the final paragraph of two? This is nice. So this is you trying to predict what the man would say if he had opportunity to respond again to passage two. Okay. What do you say? Women are not
Women are
naturally
not.
suited for the
Yeah.
exercise of civil rights and political,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A.
What do you
Mm-hmm.
say?
A.
Men and women possess similar degrees of reasoning ability.
No.
What do you say? Women do not need to remain confined to their traditional family duties. Definitely not.
Definitely.
What do you say that the principles
No.
of
Nope.
the
No.
principles of natural law
No.
No.
should not be invoked when considering gender roles?
No.
That
A.
no,
No.
no. The
Okay,
correct
that's one
answer
of his
is
main points.
A.
Exactly.
Women are not naturally suited for the exercise of civil and political rights.
How
Okay.
hurtful.
Wow. So how much you would get out of 10? 10 out of 10?
7.
8 out of 10?
Nine.
7 out of 10?
Like
8 out
two
of
or
10?
three.
2 or 3? All right. Okay, what words we could pull out from the passage that we could use for vocabulary words? I like this one, usurp,
Onerous.
um, assert, emerge is a good one.
What
Grouping,
about an efficacious?
inefficacious, yes, inefficacious.
Subjugate.
Subjugate, where's inefficacious? Inefficacious. Good
Dispassionately.
words. Where's dispassionately? I saw that. Dispassionately, yes.
Virtue.
Virtue.
Yeah, the good
Virtues,
one.
yes.
Strenuous.
Patriotism,
Patriotism, I
yeah.
was looking at that.
Phenomenon.
Various.
Let's go to the other one. Let's go to the gentleman's one.
What
Um,
about strenuous?
strenuous, yeah. Like this one, onerous,
Honorous.
Yeah.
yeah. Summon, uh, constitutions. Here, constitution does not refer to Constitution of the Bahamas.
Oh.
Incontestable.
Incontestable, yes, incontestable.
Inflation. Oh, I can't
Apparent.
remember.
Say it again. Mutual is a good one.
Mr. Petit, where it says primary destinies, you mean primary duties,
Primary destinies. I know what it is.
right? And where 20 is,
20.
any other ambition would be reversal of our primary destinies.
Yeah, that's definitely talking about by
Duties,
nature,
right?
Yeah, duties, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So there you have it. Um, so hopefully tonight, did you like these passages?
That's all.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yes,
I
sir.
like it better than
I
the
like them explained.
one.
Let's say I like them explain. Uh, anyone else?
Yeah, I enjoyed this.
I like
Yeah.
this one.
To be
Yeah.
honest, the other sets I was kind of sleeping, kind of awake, but for
Oh
this one,
wow.
for this one, I'm fully awake because it's
Oh
like the
wow.
day.
But I like how they like separate the man and the woman. So it'll
Yeah.
be like mix up.
Yeah. 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 So I really like these
Because
two
like if it's
passages.
mixed up,
Say it again.
I was saying like if it's like it was like mixed up, it'd just be a bunch of gossip in the passage.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like that. This one speaking?
No, that's Deshaun.
Deshaun. Okay, trying to figure out the voice. Um, but yeah, I like this. I was not expecting this tonight. This is great. I really like these two passages. I like the subject in fact. Ask anyone who know me well. I love this subject. I like how they presented it well. Both essays, both passages were good. I like both of them. Both had,
Yeah. Is this lead to like the woman suffrage?
1791.
yeah, the women's suffrage. Yeah, the women's suffrage movement, right? But I like how both passages, had good points. I like how we talk about nature, how nature talked about nature really separated the thing. I never really thought about that as well as he
Primitive
presented.
arguments.
Yeah, primitive arguments presented well though. Like I like it. And then she hit it home. I like it. I love it. So it was really these two passages were really good, and I like the questions that they asked. Really good to think about and comprehend and everything. So hopefully you go back and look at those vocabulary
Before
words.
I go, I had one question.
Go
Read
ahead.
where you is now. Read above 85. It say they are all eager to crush reason, yet always assert that they observe its throne only to be useful. What do you mean?
Yeah. They're trying to say that um they said that the only time they use reason is for their own good. That's what they're trying to say. So they are eager to crush reason. Like they are eager to crush your arguments, or they are eager to say, what you're saying don't make sense. But they only are going to use reason. They're only going to use arguments if they yet always assert that they usurp its throne only to be useful. So they're saying that she's saying that, hey, it's like the example I gave you with the king and the who tell us his peasants to build a farm, right? And he said, yeah, build a farm, and all the products is gonna go to me. And one of the persons say, well, why it only going to you? And then he respond by saying, hey, I'm looking out for you. I'm looking for your own good. And the man is puzzled. Like, if you're looking out for my own good, why only you getting all the products? And so she's saying that they usurp its throne only to be useful. So they're saying that, hey, they say that, hey, the reason why we're doing this, right? The reason why I'm the king and you're not, or the reason why I'm in this position and you're not, is because I'm doing what is good for you. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Anyone else
Sound like the
before we go?
United States.
They sound like that's not getting that. So we're gonna call it a night. Thank you all for who stayed back. Um, and I'll see you on tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last study for the week, and so see you all tomorrow.
Nah.
And take care. Have a wonderful,
Good night.
night.
All right, good night.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Good night, good night, guys.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night. Good night.
It's petite.